Yo, this is my Volvo. I have no clue what this video is going to be about. Yeah, probably just some random fixes. Yep. Half of it's gonna be voiceover. Half of it's gonna be kind of bullshit.
I can do another voiceover over
Yeah,
my
enjoy.
voiceover. There's two of me
I'm too
talking
lazy to
right
cut
now.
the rest of this clip.
I wonder if I
just
could do
kinda
3. That would be
bear
crazy.
Bear with me with the
Oh my god, there's
voiceover.
3
Yeah.
of me. That's wild. Talking to myself. Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty wild.
Starting
What
shortly.
do I do with 3 of me?
A few more seconds.
Yeah, don't listen to that guy. You can't
yeah,
listen to all
just,
3
uh,
at once. Watch me talk. Yeah, good. Sorry. We'll do it.
Yo, so it's all in pieces. The gear that was broken is right here. It had a bunch of teeth falling off of it, so that's obviously why it wasn't working. Hopefully it's the only thing that was broken. The weird thing is that gears after 1986 are supposed to have 25 tooth, but I counted like 50 times and I counted 26 teeth, and I think that might be that the odometer was built in 85, even though it's an 86 model year. Either way, I ordered a 26 tooth gear, which is much harder to find, and hopefully it works. So this board right here is called the temperature compensator board, and it basically, people are coming into Volvo dealerships saying that their car was overheating because the needle went from there to there, and they're flipping out. So the dealership told Volvo, and Volvo started making that board so it held the needle right in the middle until it really overheated, and then it flipped all the way to the top, so it basically turned it into an idiot light. And if you bypass the board, which it breaks a lot, so it's a good thing to do that, you can get a like a real temperature gauge that will show you the small fluctuations, which is nice going up hills, so you can catch it early and turn on the heater. Anyways, to do that, you bridge the first pin with the third pin, and I'll probably catch that on video and show you. Not the prettiest soldering, but that's the first pin, pin number 1 to pin number 3, and that should make it work. Also, it's pretty cool, the gauge itself doesn't have any wires that you have to unplug. The only connection is through the actual, I think it's these washers around here that go into there. I'm hunting vacuum leaks and cleaning the flame trap. This was somebody's repair for a cracked hose, so I'm gonna be replacing a bunch of these.
Hey guys, Chris Fix here. Today we're gonna seafoam this car.
So this is exciting. I was changing the air filter and discovered this. Let's see, can I turn on the flash? There's this thing inside the air box. This is a thermostat that takes the air temperature, and it's supposed to, if you can see, there's a flap back there, right there, and that flap should close when the temperature is above 50 degrees, and it's well above 50 degrees in here, and that flap is still in the open position, and what that does is it sucks in super hot like air from right next to the exhaust manifold, and it does that constantly while running. So my phone ran out of battery or storage or something there, so I recorded a bit of stuff on like this old Coolpix camera from the early 2000s. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's why the quality is complete garbage and all the audio got deleted. I basically showed how to take out the that valve in the airbox, and here I'm cleaning the mass airflow sensor. I figured if the valve is broken, it can fry the mass airflow sensor, and I figured cleaning it might help. I also replaced the distributor cap, wires, plugs, and whatnot, and did a compression test. So that's what you're seeing here. So here's a question I've got for all of you. The drive shaft, right where it goes through that bearing, has a bit of a wiggle. The rubber's cracked, and it sounds almost like it kind of whistles on the highway. It's probably a question for turbo brakes or something, but if you know anything, leave a comment. So I'm replacing the motor mounts now. This is the passenger side one. I have the engine jacked up by the oil pan, and I drained the oil because I'm changing that too. So I have a block of wood where the drain bolt would be, and that kind of spreads the load out a little bit better. And the old one was absolutely decrepit, and the metal brackets were covered in sludge, so I'm really happy to kind of shine them up a little bit. Here's the old one. It's still held. It was misshapen, starting to kind of check and crack. I think it's the original one. But yeah, this will be nice. It's ready to be put in. And there's a shot of the first one down in there. Alright, both motor mounts are back in. That was a pain to tighten the bolts on this one to hold it in. But the engine is very sturdy, much more than it was before. And my hands are good and dirty, so that's a good sign. Now time to get into the off the radiator fan and shroud to give me access to the front of the engine. In doing that, I stripped a nut, so I'm gonna have to go to the store and buy a new one. Yeah, next I'm gonna take off the timing cover and the water pump pulley and get into the middle of it. Okay, I just took the crankshaft bolt out. Yeah, I got it by putting the engine in 4th gear and then just wailing on it with the torque wrench. In gear, there's the springs in the clutch that kind of make it bouncy and hard to unscrew. But the clutch held, and yeah, it's all good. So I'm just finishing up replacing the valve hushers. There's the last one in there. And that's how it looks new. It's kind of nice and flexible. The old ones looked like this pile of garbage. So one was completely, the dampening part was broken off. 3 polished and cracked, and then the rest of them were in no good condition as well. So hopefully that'll make the engine run a lot quieter. And yeah, so I didn't record the rest of it. I replaced the timing belt, the tensioner, the front seals, the valve hushers, and probably a number of other things that I can't really. Whoops, the voiceover cut out there. Anyways, afterwards I drove the car up to Canada and back from Southern California, and the voiceover cut out again. Yeah, she made it back from Canada, nice and good. Everything worked, and happy ending. Thanks for watching. Whatever you do, don't subscribe. Yeah. Bye.